Hi everybody, welcome to Knits and Pieces. I'm Kelly and this is my friend Noelle. And this is episode 45 of our mostly knitting podcast. In this episode, we're mostly going to be talking about Noelle's trip to New Zealand and all of the adventures that she had, knitting and otherwise. So you were there for a month.
We were there for a month. It was amazing. I would go back. Even with the long airplane ride, I would go back. So
how long did it take you to get there?
Well, I don't know if there's a direct flight from here or not, but we didn't do that. We flew from here to Los Angeles, which is like a 5-hour flight, and then from Los Angeles to Auckland, which is a 12-hour flight. So we spent our first couple of weeks in the North Island. Then we flew from the North Island in Napier to Christchurch in the South Island, and that's like about an hour. It's not a very long flight. But then on the way home, we had kind of toured a little bit in the South Island. We went back to Queenstown, and for the trip home, we had to go from Queenstown to Auckland, which is about an hour and a half, then Auckland to LA, and then LA to Toronto, and then drive home from Toronto. So the way home was like basically
longer. And home, long. By the way, is we live in Southern Ontario in Canada. So it was, quite an undertaking to get you there and back.
It was. Now it seems like a 5-hour plane ride is nothing.
No, I know.
So, but actually the long flights were not as bad as I anticipated them being. And both of the long flights were night flights, which is nice because you get on, they do like a supper, and then,
tuck you in.
Yeah, basically around midnight, everything kind of quiets down and it's a little bit calmer. And then when you get up, they've got breakfast.
And we should mention that you did this all while traveling with your 9-month
well, she was 9 months when we left and 10 months when we came home.
She aged a month, yes. So, and that was with your son and daughter-in-law.
Yes, and Penelope was amazing. We call her Adventure Baby.
She will never know what an adventure she was on.
No,
she'll see pictures someday. And,
Yep. She was a trooper. She was good. So
great. Well, let's get into some nitty stuff.
Okay.
What did you do?
So, when we first got there, the first place that we were was in Auckland. Now, unfortunately, I had planned to meet up with one of our viewers, but unfortunately, people know that about a week or so before we went, maybe a little bit more, there was a cyclone that hit the North Island and some parts pretty severely. Well, Denise was going to come and meet me, but she actually ended up at one of her friends' orchards and she was helping them with a lot of the cleanup. Plus, I think some of the roads from where she is down to Auckland still really hadn't been kind of put back in shape. So unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to meet up. And so in Auckland, which is the biggest city in New Zealand, I think New Zealand has about 5 million people and more than 1 million of them live in Auckland. Okay. So it is quite a large city. Ross was a little nervous with the driving on the other side of the road. So when we were driving in Auckland, I didn't get to knit. I just had to
You had to navigate. Yes.
Just had to navigate.
Yes.
So I think it was we got there on the Thursday, and on the Friday night, the Lupine Wool store that's in Auckland, they have a knit night every Friday night from 4 till 8. Well, we had been out, but we were back around 6, so I thought I'd go to the knit night. So I actually Ubered by myself. Ubered to the knitting store. And when we got there, the driver's like, well, this is your address, but I couldn't see a knitting store anywhere.
Oh, goodness.
So I'm like, okay. I said, okay. I figured, okay, I'll just get out. It's got to be here somewhere, right? And
I thought people with sticks and balls.
I thought if I'm lost, all I have to do is call an Uber to go back
to
where we were staying. That's right. So I got out and I did find it. It was across the street, and it was just a lovely store. I met Alana, the owner. So I did do a little video that Kelly will stick in here where I talked to Alana, and Alana actually is originally from the States, so she didn't have the Kiwi accent. But beautiful store, lovely knit night. There was a lot of lovely ladies there knitting. I had a little chat with them, and I actually filmed that too. So Kelly will show that, pop it in. Luckily, Kelly's doing the technical because, and I tried to remember to put my camera
horizontal.
So I had a lovely time, stayed at the knit night right till the end, and then just Ubered back home. So I'll put the film in, and then we'll come back and I'll show you what I bought at the yarn store.
Okay.
Okay, so here we are. This is my first yarn store visit in New Zealand. We are at Lupine in Auckland, and I'm here with the owner, Alana. And Alana, your store is beautiful.
Thank you.
So, so how did you get started?
Got started almost 4 years ago. It's a long-ish story, but if I'm going to try to make it short, there was a German lady who had a German knitting cafe, and she had started that down the street in Parnell, and she kind of got to a point where she realized she couldn't totally do yarn and a cafe, so she asked me if I wanted to do the yarn part.
Okay. So you're not originally from here?
No, I'm American.
No.
Yeah, but I've lived here for 7 years, so, and had the wool shop for 4. So.
Good, it's beautiful. And over here we have Julie.
Hi.
And Julie, you're a regular coming to Knit Nights here, aren't you?
And how surprised I was to see Noelle walk in.
Oh, you're so kind.
Yeah, so it was really nice to meet you. But
But-
it's so fun to come here on Fridays after work and meet with like-minded people. And
Well, it's a
and
lovely
chat.
group, and
Yeah.
everybody's knitting beautiful projects.
Yeah.
And so, Julie, you look like you've got something there that you're...
I just bought some spin cycle because I'm knitting Shift Again, and Alana's got a winder and everything out there, so it's easy to get it all together.
It's gorgeous. And I've seen Julie Shift Again, and it is gorgeous. And that is a beautiful sweater. And Alana, you also have a special color from Spin Cycle, don't you?
We do. It's called Miss Rumphius. Where is it?
I think I might
hanging
be able to
over
zoom
there.
in on it right
It's almost sold out.
here.
But it's
No, this
it's
one,
the
right?
color
I
of
know.
my dreams. Yeah, the
This one, right?
purples and the golds. Yeah, that's the one.
Yes,
Miss Rumphius.
it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm having a really good time here tonight at the yarn store, and I've taken a few little photos, and everybody's having a good time. And yeah, so thanks for letting me come and sit and knit with you.
Thanks for coming.
So, yep. Okay. Bye. So I'm with the knit group here who meet regularly on Friday evenings after work, correct? And we're just going to go around and say hi to everybody. They've been so kind to welcome me in here to knit with them. So here we have
Danielle.
And Danielle, you are knitting a beautiful ranunculus. And we all know, all people watching know that pink is one of my favorite colors. That is absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
So, and we spoke to Julie a few minutes ago, and she's going to show us her shift again. It's amazing.
It's all in
Don't you
spin
love
cycle.
knitting that?
Yeah, it's
No.
so much fun to knit.
Do you do Norwegian pearls when you do your pearls on it?
No, I don't know how to do Norwegian
Oh, I'm
pearls.
going to have to show you.
Yeah.
Life-changing.
Yeah.
It's life-changing.
You do those?
Okay.
Say hello to Kelly.
Okay, I will.
I love your
will.
podcast.
I will. Okay, and over here we have,
I'm Karen.
and Karen, you are also doing a
I'm doing a
shifty.
shifty as well.
That is beautiful.
So nearly finished. I've got about 2 more sets of blips in my sleeve. And
Now, isn't that stitch addictive when you get doing it?
it's quite fun, but I have a feeling I've knitted it too loose.
Oh,
No, it looks lovely.
But
Well-
I don't mind. It'll be nice and floppy and comfy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it looks beautiful.
It's beautiful.
And no, I haven't done Norwegian pearl. I never knew there was such a thing.
Okay, I'm gonna have to show you. Okay, and then over here we have
Ifona, and I'm knitting. What's the front? This is the front.
that is beautiful.
Twist loop top, and I'm doing it with Norwegian purling
Oh, good.
because I
good.
taught it actually for this one because it's gonna be ripping all the way through. I better do Norwegian pearls.
Yeah,
So I
and that's
taught it
also
myself.
a beautiful sweater you have on,
Yeah, the ranunculus.
and that's also a ranunculus. Yes,
Yes.
it's gorgeous.
So yeah, I'm so happy with this one.
Yeah, and now we have a cross stitcher in the group. So
Charlotte. This is my first cross stitch.
your first.
So I'm not
I'm
a
just
cross
gonna zoom in
stitcher.
on it a little bit. For you.
It's to make a fox that
That's
has like little
beautiful.
flowers and things
Yeah.
on it.
That's so delicate. I mean, I used to do that, but my eyesight won't let me do that anymore.
Yeah,
So-
I'm finding it really fun.
Yeah. And then, Alana, you're working on.
So I just dropped a bunch of stitches
Oh,
on this
no.
lace weight ranunculus that I'm doing, which I'm gonna wear to a wedding. So
In
I'm gonna
5
try
days,
to
I heard.
next weekend. But I can do it. The last ranunculus I did took me 3 days, and this is my other ranunculus. This is my 4th one. We're doing a bit of a ranunculus knit along
Yes,
with
we have
some
quite
of
a
our.
few ranunculuses that are in our group. It's
Yeah.
such a nice, versatile sweater. You can knit it in so many weights and yarns, and
It looks good on everyone.
Yeah.
It's easy to knit. It's fast. I don't know. It's addictive. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
okay. So there we have our group here, and thanks everybody for talking to me, and good luck with all your knitting projects.
Thank you.
Okay. Now we're gonna have a Norwegian pearl lesson. Everybody would like to see what I got at.
Show the goods. Show the goods.
Okay. when I was there, I was trying to get things that were either specifically from New Zealand or something that I couldn't necessarily get back here in Canada. So at Lupine, I had actually looked at their website before because they do have an online presence. So I had looked at it before. And one of the things that interested me was this yarn.
Which is so amazing.
This is Marapawa. It's a hand-dyed 4-ply. It's merino and Arapawa. And Arapawa is a type of sheep that is specific to, I think it's an island, a small island in New Zealand. But this is, it says 4-ply fingering, but there's 368 meters. This feels more like a sport to me. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this color is, let's see here, some kind of fern. Can you read that?
Is it slover?
Silver. Because silver, that's right.
Silver fern.
Silver fern is the emblem of the All Blacks rugby team.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's very soft. Very soft. It's beautiful.
And then this one is Time to Harvest. And you can see the dark color that goes through it because the Arapawa sheep are like a dark fleece.
Dark. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, when you take one of that, like it definitely to me feels thicker than a 4-ply.
Yes, definitely.
Like I'd almost say going into like a DK.
A light DK. Yeah. Definitely a sport.
Yeah. So that Beautiful. One is Time to Harvest. And then this was my favorite color. If they had had more of these, I would have bought all of this. But this is called Mysterious Mauve.
It's beautiful.
So,
and I think you said you're going to try to pair.
I think I'm going to do
these together.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do like a color blocked cardigan.
It's beautiful.
Or striped. So
beautiful. That will look amazing.
Yeah. So that's specifically something that it's a New Zealand sheep that's only found in New Zealand, and I just thought the colors were really pretty, and so. And then, of course, the next thing, I couldn't go to New Zealand and not come back with some possum.
Absolutely.
So this is from Brushtail. This is upcycled possum merino. So I believe how they spin this is in the clothing industry where they actually use cloth. It's made, they actually take the waste and they upcycle it into a yarn.
Wow, that's very clever.
So this is, what does it say here? Where are we? It's a 4-ply, but again, it's got really good yardage. This is a 50-gram ball, but there is 300 meters in it.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
So, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like a thin 4-ply. It's definitely
Not
still
at all.
a 4-ply. So this is 70% merino and 30% possum fur. And again, we should say, when we talk about New Zealand possum, the New Zealand possum is a totally different animal
than the possum that we have here.
That's right.
Absolutely different. Did you see any while you were there?
No, they have traps set out for them though.
Oh, goodness.
Well, unfortunately they're a pest in New Zealand.
They are.
I think it was in the redwood forest when we were walking around, and we saw some of the traps laid out. We didn't know what they were for, and we talked to somebody after, and that's what they were for.
Well, I'm not going to lie. Most people here in our area think they're a pest too, but
I don't think the ones in here don't do the damage that they do in New Zealand.
No. The ones that we have here, as much as people,
eat bugs?
They eat bugs. They eat a lot of bugs from your yard. They eat slugs. They eat lots of things that you wouldn't want in your garden. And contrary to popular belief, they cannot carry rabies. Right. So they're actually a safe little rodent to have around.
They just have that ugly tail.
They have lovely personalities once you get to know them, but we're not going down that road again because this started the great possum debate of 2021, so we won't talk about that.
Anyway, this color is called Shadow, and it's
beautiful.
Kind of like a deep teal green.
Definitely.
So I got 3 of those, so that's 900 meters. So I know I can do something.
It's so
with
soft.
900 meters. It is.
So soft.
Yeah.
Well, I guess so that's the merino too, right?
And there are sheep everywhere in New Zealand. It's I think the last that I read was there are 27 million sheep. There's only 5 million people, but 27 million sheep. A knitter's dream.
So they talk about the possum fur too. One of its attributes is that it has a hollow core, which makes it very lightweight and insulating. So, very nice.
So this again is a hand wash. So
it's beautiful. I love the color.
Okay. So still in lupine. So this is, excuse me, spin cycle, which obviously is not native to New Zealand. However, this color is called Miss Rumphius. And this is a color that was done specifically for the Lupine store in Auckland. So I'm not quite sure. I'm going to put it into some type of a sweater. Actually, Alana, who is the owner of Lupine, is also Black Cat Yarns, and she does sweater designs. And there is a design that she did that uses this in the yoke with like, I think she paired it with either a really dark charcoal or a black. And I might do that because I really did like the sweater. And that would be to do that pattern with this would be a really good souvenir from New Zealand. So, and the colors in that are gorgeous. And then Alana was very kind. She sent for both Kelly and I, and you've got yours already.
I do.
So
I've been using it already.
Have you?
Yes.
She gave us each one of these little tape measures. Really nice case. Blue is the color for the store, and then it's got the little Lupine logo on there. And then she also gave us each a couple of these pins. So there's one with her logo, the Lupine Yarn Co. And then this is for her Black Cat design. So that's for her designs. And I'll link I'll link the shop down below. I'll also put a link to the Ravelry where her patterns are featured. So yeah, so that was a really fun night. Ubered home, like, I think I couldn't go to sleep that night because I was totally on a high from being with other knitters in another country.
It's like the Christmas story, how the kids can't sleep the night before Christmas. They have visions of sugar plums. She's got yarn balls dancing in her head.
That's right. That's right. But I mean, it's so nice to be able to do that. You go to another country and you can meet up with people that like have the same interests as you and are so welcoming and kind. And yeah, it was lovely. So, okay. So that was it for Auckland. There were other yarn stores in Auckland that unfortunately I didn't have a chance to get to. If we go back again, which I think we might, I'll make sure that I get to those ones then.
Very good. So what was your next stop?
Oh, the next stop actually was, I'm mixed up in my mind. The next stop was actually in Taupo, which is still in the North Island. This wasn't, where we went in here wasn't actually a yarn store. It was a woolen store.
Okay.
So they sold a whole lot of things that were made with like the merino and the possum. So there was a whole lot of ready-made, but they did have a small little portion of the store that did have yarn. And that day when we had gone to Taupo, there's right on the water, there's a hole-in-one golf thing.
Okay.
That I didn't do it, but Ross and Jamie did it. And you basically teed off, and there was a platform out in the water that had like a bucket or something in it. And if you got a hole-in-one, you won $10,000.
Oh,
they
gosh.
didn't.
They
did not.
They didn't.
They did not win $10,000.
That could have put a good dent in the cost of the trip.
In the yarn budget?
In the yarn. Well, that would have expanded the yarn budget for sure. Yes.
Anyway, so they did that, and then Jamie and Suzanne and Penelope were going off to get a few groceries before our next stop. So I had read about this place, and so we got the old phone out with the Google Maps on it. We're trying to find this place, crossing roundabouts, which is very difficult to do.
Coming at it from a different direction than what we're used to.
I don't even know where to look when I cross the road. But anyway, we made it there, and there was a nice little yarn section. So I picked up just a couple of balls of, this is called Mandala, and it's super fine, 100% pure wool. This is Countrywide Yarns, which is a New Zealand brand. So this is kind of a gradient barber pole kind of. So very pretty. It is 100% wool though, so it's won't be for socks. So I don't know yet what I'll do out of it, but I just really liked the colors. And they just have color numbers. They don't have names, but I just thought they were really pretty.
They're very pretty.
Even to do a baby sweater. Mm-hmm. So that's all because I couldn't leave a place that had yarn in it without bringing something back.
Could not.
So very happy with those. Again, don't know what they're going to be yet, but something good.
Figure something out for when they grow up, what they want to be when they grow up.
That's right. That's right. So they'd make nice one skein shawls.
They would.
So
yeah, they would.
Okay, so that was basically Taupo, and then from there we went to Napier. Okay, we had to go a different way to Napier than we had originally thought because of the cyclone, because the main road from Taupo to Napier was closed, so we had to kind of go a back roads way that was like this in the mountains, but that was fine. And Napier was, there were some areas that you could tell had been devastated by the cyclone, which was really, really unfortunate, but a lot of the cleanup was already taking place. So I did on the one morning, Ross and Jamie dropped me off at Skeins, which is a place that I'd kind of scouted out. It was the yarn store that was kind of on the list that I had to go to.
Okay.
And mostly because I liked the fact that a lot of their yarns are minimally processed, non-superwash. So I really liked that. And so everybody else went to a winery. So I gave up a winery for a yarn store. Everybody else went to
self-sacrificing.
Everybody else went to the winery, and I went to the yarn store, and then I went to a different winery after, and they met me so that we could have lunch. So I did still go to one winery, but everything that I bought at Skeins, I actually had to ship home because it just wouldn't fit. I bought too much. So, and I actually have already knitted with some of the things that I got at Skeins. So I'll show you the first thing I've already knit. And this is a little sweater. It's the feather cardigan by
Heidi May.
Heidi May. Who is she?
Acorn Designs.
Is it
Velvet Acorn?
The Velvet Acorn, yes. So this is done in a couple of the yarns that I got at Skeins. So the main body of the yarn is their...
It's very soft.
Mm-hmm. It is their Vintage Abroad.
Do you have any other balls of it?
Yeah, I do. 8-ply, yeah. Which is a DK weight. So here cute. It is in, that's what it looked like, vintage. This color is called Merlot. That color was called Wedgwood. So it is an 8-ply double knit, 100% pure New Zealand wool, but it is milled in India. So there's 102 meters approximately. Mm-hmm. So to me, that almost knits up like a worsted weight.
Absolutely.
I know it's classed as a DK,
would definitely say
would,
this is it feels much more
to
like
me,
a
I think it feels like a worsted weight.
Yeah, it's lovely.
So the price was amazing. They are 50-gram balls, but they were $3.95 New Zealand dollars, which is about less than $3.50 Canadian.
$3.50. Mm-hmm.
So I got enough of this yarn to do each of the girls a sweater. So Isla's was this Wedgwood. This purple is going to be for Zoe.
Of course. Yep. Zoe's favorite color.
Yes. Let me see the rest of it here. This color is called Truffle, and it's kind of like
I like that.
Like a cocoa brown kind of. So that is going to be for Molly, and then Penelope's was this.
Oh, so
this
cute.
Color is called Sage. And so the contrast yarn that's in there is actually another yarn from Skeins, and it is called Pulse. So that's what it looks like. So this one is 100% merino again, and the same, this is milled in China, but it is 100% New Zealand wool. It's an 8-ply, again, double knit, same yardage, about 100 meters. And this one is kind of, looks almost like spin cycle-y.
It does.
Like it's the barber pole effect.
And you said that when you did this color work, you used every last drop. Bit yes. of one of those for this size of a sweater.
Yeah, so I added this down at the bottom just to use up the rest and to give the sweater a little more length. Now that's a size 8 sweater, and Isla's only turning 4. Like it's going to fit her for a couple of years.
Yes,
so
very nice.
And it's her birthday today, so we're taking it out there today. So I thought this color would look nice with Zoe's.
Oh, pretty.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
And then this color I had originally put into Isla's, but there just wasn't enough contrast. Like too much of the blue came through. But I thought this would actually look really nice in this one. Yes. And then it's really going to show up. So I think I'm going to do that with that one. And then Penelope's, I've got another ball of this one that I think is going to go
beautiful
in there. So I got all those for the girls. So that all got shipped home because for the older girls, I had 4 skeins of the main color. For Penelope's, I got 3 skeins of the main color. Mm-hmm. And then this only takes 1 ball of the contrast for the girls.
Yes. So very nice. And the buttons are
from Sarnia.
Yes.
Or from Country Yarns. You were with me, I think, when I bought them.
Yeah, they're so cute.
Yep.
So cute.
So, okay, so I also bought other yarn there.
Yes.
This yarn. This is... Where is it again? Recycled natural fiber yarn with possum. Okay, so this is 104 meters. Again, it's an 8-ply, which they call a DK, but to me, these are almost like a worsted. So this is Moody Hues, the Sockmatician edition, and this color is called Chapel.
Chappelle.
I don't know, but I really like the colors and the tones in it, and I think it would make a nice cowl.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. These are my colors. It's beautiful.
So, and the tonal, you can see the tonal variation is really,
really nice. It's really nice. Yeah. Really nice.
So, and it's made in New Zealand by Skeins. And again, I will link the shop below. So I got 2 of those, and then I got, so this is called Pearl Luster. So this one is,
it's beautiful,
60% Surrey alpaca, 40% organic merino, and again, it's made in New Zealand by Skeins. This one, they had a ranunculus done in it that only took 2 balls of this, and it was just the lightest, drapiest, and I tried it on and it fit me perfectly, and they'd only use 2 balls, so I thought.
Hard to believe you can get a sweater out of just the small.
Well, that's right, and these are 50-gram balls, but there is 225 meters in each. Mm-hmm. So they had it done just with this. I'm not sure that I might not hold it with a mohair, though. So
yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's so soft.
It is. It really is, and it has, like, they're not joking when they say a pearl luster.
Yep,
it's like a sateen finish.
Yep.
There's no overtly shiny fiber in this.
It just has a glow.
It has a beautiful glow. Yep. Yeah, it's lovely.
Okay, and then I bought a few sweater quantities. So the first one is I bought a sweater quantity of this. This one is a DK weight. So this is the Southlander yarn, and this is the one that I was really this was what I was really looking for. I had heard some podcasters talk about this in New Zealand, and I just, it reminds me of like Patagonia by Juniper Moon Farm, or it's kind of like that Shetland type yarn, although it's softer than a Shetland. Like,
oh, it's definitely softer.
Yeah, so that one is a DK, so I got enough of that one to do a cardigan of some sort. The DK is 200 meters per skein, and they actually had the feather cardigan, the Heidi Mae feather cardigan, done in an adult one, and I had originally thought I might do that, but I've already got a feather cardigan, so now I'm thinking I might put some of my hand spun up in the top with it.
Yes, I think so. This is really nice.
So that one is an 8-ply. So I got it
called silver, but there's a good amount of blue in this. Like, and if we're here near a window with nice light.
Like, I think that one, if you smell that one smells more natural.
Oh, that's very sheepy.
It's very sheepy.
Wow,
and then when you get into the dyed ones, they don't. So I think that one is even more minimally processed, because I think that's a natural color of the
this sheep. One is 100% New Zealand wool.
Yeah,
straight from the sheep.
It is.
It's really sheepy.
So I know, because when I opened the box, I'm like, but that one, yes, you can really smell the sheep. And then I got a couple of other colors in it, but this is in a sport weight. So that's this one beautiful. Is called Goldenrod.
I love that one.
This one, I love this one too. This is called Dusky Heather.
Yeah.
So again, that's the sport weight, because I tend to wear fingering sport weight.
This one's not as sheepy.
No, it's not, because that's what I mean. I think that's the natural sheep, whereas this is dyed.
These ones are dyed, yeah.
Yeah. And then they also do a line. They've got specific colors that are designed by Truly Myrtle. So she is a designer from New Zealand, and this color is called Rebel.
I like that one. It's
I
nice.
like that one too.
Very nice.
So
it's very similar to what I'm knitting with. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
So yeah, so all in all, it was a very successful trip to Skeins. If you look at it from my point of view, from Ross's point of view, it might not have been.
I'm guessing Skeins thought it was a pretty successful trip too.
Packed up, shipped home, and it got home before I did.
Yes.
So
I offered to pick it up for her. She wasn't trusting me with it. I don't know why.
And in that, I'd also shipped yours. Mm-hmm. So
yes.
So it was a lot of stuff packed into that. What they do is they take it all, they put it in bags, and they vacuum pack it. So a lot of it will fit in like one box. Mm-hmm. So I kept saying, well, how much am I at now? What's the shipping now? And so if I get to a certain point, but there was still weight left, well, I'm paying for that shipping. I'm going to pack in more yarn.
Pack a little more in there. That's right.
That's right. So,
absolutely. Good haul.
Yeah. Just good from haul. That shop.
Just from one store. Mm-hmm. Okay.
and I will link the skein store, and I might order from there again.
I think you should knit a few more things first.
That's right.
Yes, absolutely.
That's right.
All right. So what was up next in the trip?
Okay. Next, we flew from the North Island to the South Island. So we flew from Napier to Christchurch. In Christchurch, I had messaged Lisa, who has a podcast, Unwind and Knit with Me. So I had messaged her a couple of days before saying that we were going to be there, and she does have a little shop in her house, and I just asked if we could, you know, maybe meet up with her and just have a little chat, and she was very gracious and welcoming. So the first day in Napier, the first morning, Ross and I, again, trusty little phone with our Google Maps, and we actually walked. It wasn't very far, I think less than 2 kilometers. So we walked, and she was just amazing. She was so lovely. You know, we looked around the shop, did some stuff. Then she made us a coffee, you know, nice. And we sat down and had a little chat, and, you know, talking more about life, not necessarily just about yarn. But I do have a little interview with her, and Kelly will pop that in. Mm-hmm. So hi, everybody. We made it to Christchurch yesterday, and Ross and I took a little walk, and we found Lisa from Unwind and Knit with Me. So we are here in Lisa's shop, which, Lisa, you have beautiful yarns here.
Thank you. It's really little, but yeah, that's a good selection.
So I found a few things that I might be coming home with me. But Lisa, how did you get started? How did you decide to do something like this?
It really came about from my own love of knitting and my own love of yarn. And I was actually doing a lot of online orders from overseas. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, that's crazy. And surely I'm not the only one in New Zealand that wants this yarn. So I decided to import it myself. So a lot of my yarn is John Arbon Textiles from the UK, Jameson and Smith from Shetland, Scotland.
I think it's Shetland.
Shetland,
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I do. I have the Nurturing Fibres, which is a high twist merino, which I bring in from New Zealand, not New Zealand, South Africa. And also that kid silk mohair is beautiful. That's from South Africa. But of course I keep some New Zealand merino.
So this, you get this spun and dyed specifically for
you, right? So this is, we don't have many spinning mills left here in New Zealand, but there is one here in Christchurch.
Okay.
So this is New Zealand merino that is spun here. But I also have a friend who's an Indie dyer, and she dyes it up for me. Nice. So that's merino nylon.
Okay, so that one's good for socks.
For socks.
Right.
But I do keep the 100% merino in the high twist, which is also good for socks because the high twist makes it really durable.
Okay.
But it has lovely stitch definition and is just really lovely to work with.
So do you come up with the colours, or does your friend come up with the colours?
No, my friend does, but she's pretty good because I have occasionally said, well, I love this colour, but it's a bit dark, or I love that colour, but I'd love a bit more yellow in it, and she'll have it play.
I know, I'm seeing another colour right there right now that I need to
Oh, that you really like.
I'm just going to grab this one down.
That's Grandma, I think, is that Grandma's rhubarb? Oh, no.
This is, chocolate strawberry.
Chocolate strawberry. This one here, I just love the name. This is, that's Grandma's rhubarb.
Yeah. Very nice.
Chocolate strawberry. Okay. But that, it does, like I said, it has beautiful stitch definition, and it doesn't pill much.
That's good.
Which I really like because, of course, all yarn pills, and that's, you know, we're used to that as knitters, and that's part and parcel. But the high twist doesn't pill as much, just less pilling factor.
Right, right. And you also, I know I've seen you talk on your podcast about the different bags that you carry.
Oh, now these really excite me. I'm really passionate about these. So I actually designed this bag, but I contact a lady that I knew. Put me in contact with a lady in South Africa, and this is just one lady and her daughter and a couple of her friends that make these from home. So I feel like we're kind of supporting her in she lives rural, so she's not in a big city, and there's really hard times in South Africa. So I feel really good about just supporting these couple of ladies that make these bags. So these are handmade. The top section here is hand stitched, and the fabric, this one here's a project bag, and it has this straw string, so it holds lots. but the fabric is traditional South African cotton that is used in their traditional clothing.
Okay.
And it's called shway shway.
Shway shway.
But it's a really, you can feel that. It's a really strong amazing. Cotton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like almost the weight of a canvas.
It is.
But feels softer,
really
like doesn't have the roughness of a canvas.
Yeah. So I travelled through Europe with my project bag, and it had all my knitting in it, but it had my wallet, it had documents, it had my water bottle. Excellent. And we were on and off trains and planes. And it still looks as good, mine, which is out there. Right. Mine still looks as good as it did when I first. Yeah.
Well, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and they've got lots of pockets. But
and what did you say the outside fabric was?
It's leather.
It's 100% leather. Yeah, and it's a really thick, sturdy leather. And I also do them in black. But that's sort of my signature bag. But I will show you this because you're the first to see it.
That's really nice.
Yes, everything's quite nice.
Gorgeous.
Yes. That's a nice color.
She has just gone and sourced some colour leather for me. You can feel the thickness of that.
Wow.
And we're doing this green. We're doing a, it's like an orange, a purple, a blue. You'll have to wait. Yeah. I haven't got the swatches. But this is the first sample bag.
That's quite nice. I like that color.
I do like that.
This colour's beautiful, and the fabric inside.
Wow! But so is that the same?
It's also the shway shway. Yeah, and she's colour matched the inside fabric for me. And the handle is really just that beautiful natural leather, and that just gets better with age. Yeah. Gorgeous. So. Yeah, and the hand stitching. So these are probably still a month or so away, but they will be on my website.
Okay. And we'll make sure that I link everything. We'll link the shop and everything down underneath.
So I feel really quite passionate about the bags because, look, I'm only a one-man band,
right?
But also the bags are coming from a lady who's pretty well a one-man band as well. It's not a sort of corporate.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, and it looks like you've got sock blockers and.
Yeah. So these are all made here in Christchurch. And I have them made for me, but so they're all made here in Christchurch.
Different sizes, and I think I saw on your podcast that you have knitter's balm.
Yep. So that's it's quite a thick balm. It's really lovely, just for sort of I rub it into my cuticles, and it's unperfumed. It was actually designed for the lady that designed or made up this cream. Made it for one of her children that had eczema.
Okay.
So it's no perfume.
So it'd be even good for babies and things.
Absolutely, and just really good for dry, chapped skin. But I've just started doing the bar, which this one smells beautiful.
Yes, it does. Wow, that really does.
So I wanted something with a nice fragrance, but she wasn't prepared to put fragrance in that because it defeated the purpose of why she developed it. But this one,
that's nice.
It's lavender and I can't remember, but it smells really good. And I also I do my own knitting cords,
which are invaluable when you're trying on sweaters.
These were a game changer for me. So a friend bought me a set a few years ago as a gift.
Okay.
And I kind of went, what are they?
Yeah.
And it was before I watched a lot of podcasts and everything, and she told me. And I started using them, and I think the thing I love about them the most is when I have to put my sleeves on hold.
Yeah. And it's so much easier to get them back onto the needles than what we used to do.
And also for the body as we're trying it on. But there wasn't a brand here in New Zealand.
Okay.
So I sourced out a supplier and I bring it in and I cut it and measure it myself and have them, in those little tins.
Yeah.
So I've kind of ventured into a couple of other little things.
It's very nice and... It was a lovely way. We spent the morning, had coffee together, and just chatted. We didn't even knit. Didn't even knit.
I actually have a couple of friends that I meet up with once a week to knit with, and we never knit.
No, see, we
sit there with our knitting bags going,
Yeah, you have to get something that's really easy that you can talk
I normally take a beanie or something, but quite often at knit group, I don't even open my knit bag. Which is really lovely because that's why we go to knit group, right?
That's right. You still get to see what everybody's making.
Yeah. Just some really nice ladies that I meet up with.
Okay, well, thank you, Lisa, for letting me come in and visit your shop and have a nice little visit with you.
I feel really, really honoured and blessed that you've come to visit.
And to do this.
And
yeah,
I hope
and to do this for us. And if you come to Canada.
I so want to come to Canada.
So you'll have to come and see us.
Yeah, I'll definitely take your contact.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I'd like to, so I want to thank Lisa. That was amazing, and for taking the time to do the little interview with me. And definitely would love to go back and see her again. And if she ever comes here to Canada, Lisa, you need to come see us.
Absolutely.
So,
yes, I want to meet you too. Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So, of course, I had to buy some things.
Well, of course.
So she had beautiful yarn in there. So a few of the things that I picked up in there. So she carries a lot of yarn. I think she said that in the video, but a lot of her yarns come from the UK. A lot of them are John Arbin yarns, which I love, but I am a John Arbin mill member, so I can get that. I'm not, so I wasn't going to buy John Arbin yarn there, but she also has a line of her own yarn that's unwind and knit with me. So she has a friend that's a dyer, and her friend does the colors for her. So this one is 100% New Zealand Merino High Twist. So I think you actually, because of the twist in it, could actually do socks with this, but this is so pretty, I don't think I would do socks with it. So this color is called Chocolate Strawberry, and there is 400 meters in here. And there was another skein, the Volcano.
I should have brought it with me, sorry.
That's okay.
It's
the Volcano
beautiful.
that I brought back for Kelly, and Lisa was doing a sweater in that yarn, and it's gorgeous. That color's gorgeous. But at this point, I wasn't shipping back, and I'm trying to think, okay, I've got to fit all this stuff into my luggage, but I've got this one. I'm not sure what I'm going to make with it yet. And then she carries yarn from, this is called Nurturing Fibers, and this is Super Twist Sock. So this is 100% merino again, but it's the high twist. So this one is hand washed with lukewarm water. This color is called Aged Leather. Now this is 320 meters. So to me, this is almost going to knit like a sport weight. So I've got 2 of these ones. And then I got,
pretty.
I couldn't resist this color.
Of course not.
This color is called Cherry Blossom. So those are going to go together. And in the video, you saw Lisa's gorgeous cravat that she was wearing. That's what I want to do with this. So the cravat is a Caitlin Hunter pattern. So that'll be my main color. Whoops. And then my pop up at the top will be that Cherry Blossom color. And I think those colors look gorgeous together.
They do.
So,
absolutely beautiful.
So this is a yarn from,
so pretty.
Again, where is it here? It doesn't say, but I'm thinking it's South Africa. But anyway, if you go to Lisa's site, it's all listed, and gorgeous colors in this yarn.
It's really amazing how, I mean, this is merino. It's 100% merino, and we've all got yarns that are 100% merino, but it's amazing how, depending on how it's processed or how it's dyed, it can look
so different,
so completely different from skein to skein.
Yep. And this one does actually have a dye lot, so I should be okay with not alternating.
It's beautiful.
So really looking forward. I think that actually, I might even cast that on this weekend. Even though I should be working on other stuff, but I might.
It'll be finished next week, friends.
No, it won't. It won't. And then Lisa was so kind. She included 2 of these lotion bars for Kelly and myself. So Kelly's got hers already, and it smells. I haven't used mine yet, so I could show you. But there's what it looks like inside. And again, she has someone make these for her. And that just smells amazing.
It is. It's beautiful.
So this is, it contains sunflower and coconut oil, beeswax. And the scent is like lavender. I don't know, just a nice knitter's fragrance. But gorgeous. So thanks, Lisa. Now that I've shown it, I can use it.
Yes, yes.
So, and then after we were kind of finished there, she was very kind and actually drove us to kind of in downtown Christchurch, which Christchurch is a beautiful city. Like, it's kind of more flat. It's got mountains all around it, but it's kind of more flat. Some of the other places that we were in the South Island, like the cities are basically built on the hills, so you're constantly walking up and down hills. But Christchurch is a little more flat. We had a wonderful lunch. It was funny because Jamie and Suzanne had gone off to do something by themselves while we were doing this. We ended up in the same restaurant as them. Like, we just walked by and there they were, and we ended up in the same restaurant for lunch. And yeah, had a really lovely time there. And then there was another yarn store in Christchurch that we decided that we'd walk to after lunch. So that was called Outlaw.
Okay.
Outlaw Yarns. And I might have gotten a few things there too. So, and some of it I've already started to knit with. So you've already seen, I don't have it on a blocker, but there's my first sock. And this is
I love these socks. I love
this is
color.
the Outlaw Yarns, and this is their sock bandit. So there's kind of what it looks like. And it is machine washable. However, the woman that was working in the store told me that machine washable doesn't necessarily mean super wash treated. That you actually can wash it in the machine. And it doesn't. It says cold wash only.
It's such a sturdy yarn. Look at how beautiful that knits up.
I
It's
love
beautiful.
it, and I love the feel of it. And I broke
all
that
those little
band
short
there.
color pops. I really like that.
So this color is called Tomfoolery Sprinkles,
So pretty.
and I do really like it. And they did have that in solid colors as well. And in there as well, I got a sweater's quantity of this, and this is again 100% wool. And again, this is machine washable, but not super wash treated. This color is called Daring. What did I get? Daring, Rebel. Must have been a theme going on. Anyway, this is a sport weight. 24 to 26 is about a sport weight. So I got enough of this to do a sweater. And again, like it's
Squishy squish.
Yep.
It's nice. It's really nice.
I really like it. And then there's another one that I got there too. This one is called Rebel Light. You can realize all this. Rebel Light Dye Experiment. This, I got enough of this to do a short sleeve sweater. But it says 24 stitches on a 3.5 millimeter needle or 20 stitches on a 4 millimeter needle. So it feels like it's a woolen spun. But I really like this color. This color is called Smoked Salmon.
I would agree with that one. That's a good name.
Yeah, so this is, it is. It's woolen spun. It's 80% merino and it's 20% NZ half bred. So I asked her, well, what does half bred mean? Well, it's actually a type of sheep.
Okay.
So I'm not quite sure what they bred to get the half bred.
What's the other half?
I don't know. But again, I got enough of that.
It's pretty. It's really
so that's
pretty.
50 gram skein, but there's 193 meters in that.
Really pretty. I love that color.
So I really like that color. And I love the feel of the yarn.
It is. It's
It actually feels like your Sonder.
It does. It feels a lot like the Sonder, but it's rustic looking, but not rustic feeling.
Yes.
Yeah, it has that. Like this, you could even use this in color work. Like it looks like it's something. It's a very toothy yarn. It would grab anything that you put beside it. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Again, I'm at the point where it's like, okay, what can I fit into my suitcase or Ross's suitcase?
I did suggest that she could tape the yarn to her body and be a yarn mule.
Maybe I should have had that on the walk.
Maybe you should have had that on the walk. Absolutely.
Okay, so that was Outlaw Yarns. So after we left Christchurch, our next stop was, where were we going?
To another yarn store.
Well, we did go to another yarn store, but we were on our way to Lake Tekapo,
Okay.
which is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. But we were on our way to Lake Tekapo. So when I was talking with Lisa, she said, "Well, Noelle, if you're going there, you have to stop at Ashford because it's right along the way. You pass it, it'll be right there." And I thought, okay,
Okay.
I have to go to Ashford.
Twist my very rubber arm.
Yep.
Yes.
So.
Apparently hit the mother load.
We did. I can't believe that this wasn't on the list. Boy, it was so nice to know that Lisa told me that it was on the way to where we were going. So very happy to be there.
So we'll just take a little tour through the store. It's a massive store. I can't even probably begin to get all the stuff in here. But obviously there's tons of supplies in here, both looming.
skeins of cotton yarn for either knitting or weaving, all different colors. Just
a plethora of
I'm overwhelmed. So
it's too bad you don't have any more room in your suitcase.
well, yeah, well, we can fix that. We can ship, we already know that. Unless you want to come back to New Zealand next year.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's right, you and your sister got snow, was it you? Oh, I love the program. See, they have teddy hair like that.
Especially when you get older, somebody's there for and
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so
I had one ring me yesterday, day before yesterday.
Look at this.
And I haven't heard from the other two since I
Get some of this.
matches what you've got on.
Surprise, surprise.
Oh, they've got two boys and two girls.
married with their own family.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't even been to this part.
I know.
Their sons when they were
Okay, here we come. We're coming to the entrance. Those look familiar. Got a few of those. And there's a few more up here. Nice wooden spools. And as you swing them up, start getting into the stash. Spinning around. Literally, the store goes way down there. Just keeps on going. Swing back around over here. There's a little bit of a gift shop over here. Not super busy, but there's lots of people around, that's for sure. It's a nice display of soaps, hand soaps. Nice little cafe next there. I think we're gonna go there next. Probably. Oh, look what we found. Noelle's knits and pieces.
I found lots.
Yes, she's already got a stash in her hands. And then the entrance to the mother lode in there. Amazing.
Again, we kind of left Christchurch a little bit earlier than Jamie and Suzanne, figuring that I would get there, I'd be done in Ashford. But they met up with us. Well, they came in too, because we spent a little bit of time there. So at the Ashford store, we met two of the lovely ladies that were working there, and Nicola, she kind of like showed us around a little bit, and she actually had a yarn line of her own that she carried at the Ashford store. But again, by the time I got here, I'm like, there's only so much room to bring things home.
Yeah.
So I would love to go back to that store again. I would have loved to have had more time to spend there. There was a cafe attached to it, so
perfect.
Your husband
Perfect.
can go have a coffee and a little treat, and you can spend your time in the store. But they had like their spindles and their weaving looms, and because Ashford is a big supplier of weaving looms, spinning wheels, and tons of beautiful yarn. I do have my
E-spinner,
e-spinner is an Ashford e-spinner, and my loom is a 32-inch Ashford. Bridget had a loom. So it was just like
I've come home.
So I did pick up a few things, and a couple of the skeins of sock yarn we've already given away as prizes.
Yes.
And Kelly has one. So then I also picked up a couple of these skeins of sock yarn for myself. Like, I just love that.
It's beautiful. I love that pop.
Yep. And then this one. This is definitely a Noelle color here.
Yeah, this is
so
beautiful.
Gorgeous, and it feels amazing.
It
So
is
this
so soft.
is 75% merino, 25% nylon. 100 grams, 400 meters. This color is just called lime green gray.
So pretty. And this one is autumn.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Beautiful. Look at that gold. So nice.
Mm-hmm. And then Nicola that was working there, this is her. She dyes this yarn. So this one is called, and she calls her yarn Knitcola.
Oh, nice.
Her name is Nicola. Her yarn brand is Knitcola. So these are skeins to dye for. So this is hand-dyed New Zealand merino 4-ply. This color is called Rocky Road.
That has a beautiful sheen too.
Love that color. I know, and it feels amazing.
It's a lot like the socks I'm knitting right now.
It is actually
very similar. Yep. This is beautiful. Skeins to dye for. Very nice.
And then the only other skein that I got there is this. This is Ashford Merino Boucle Looped. I just thought it was
different.
I've not knit, and it's a very thin, so it's a 4-ply. There is, where is it here? So it's 100 grams, but there's 492 yards on here. So I haven't decided yet. I think it would even look good as a ranunculus with another yarn held with it.
It would. It would.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it is very fine. Yeah, it's pretty. It would. Honestly,
I've knit with the slub.
But even if you did some kind of a shawl or a cowl, like this would be just amazing.
It feels amazing.
Skin. Yeah, this would be so cozy.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's like almost a beautiful winter white too. Gorgeous.
Okay, so that's all that I got at the Ashford store, and that's actually all the shopping that I did before Lake Tekapo. When we got there, the first day we went to the Hooker Valley Trail, and which is considered an easy trail.
Hardly a trail, more of a walk.
More of a walk, that's right. But it is 10 kilometers. Anyway, it was fine. It's absolutely beautiful, and you get to the end of the trail, and you're at this glacier lake that's actually got icebergs in it, and just like amazing. But unfortunately, on the way back, I kind of had a little bit of a fall, and Kelly will stick in the video of the rescue.
He took a tumble just beyond here and slid down about 1.5 meters into the. She isn't. I'm not sure if she's broken anything, but she's definitely down, hurt her hip somehow. I think probably the impact of when she hit. That's where it was. So I'm having to helicopter out.
Tumble down I don't know what it would be, embankment, whatever.
Looking at the scenery, not at her feet.
That's right. And I was rushing.
Hurrying because
I was rushing because I had to go to the washroom.
Had to go to the bathroom.
Didn't want to use the outhouses.
Didn't want to use the outhouses.
So anyway, so I was rushing. There was just like a rock jutting up and I just hit it the wrong way. So anyways, I can't say enough about the helicopter team that got me out, got me to the hospital. So I spent a night in the hospital, ended up with a few minor injuries, a couple of cracked ribs, cracked vertebrae and a
cracked pelvis.
Yes, but nothing was broken. So there was nothing that they could do as far as any surgery to fix anything. It's just a matter of time and healing. So,
and Noelle's not patient.
I am not patient.
I am
not a patient.
If anyone has watched us for a while now, they have to know that. She's very driven. I jokingly say things could have been worse. You could have broke a wrist.
They could have been. Oh, that would have been worse. That would have been worse.
Because you in a cast for 8 weeks nobody would want to live with that.
Ross would have been shifting me to your place. So
we would have had to take turns passing you around because it would be unbearable.
Yes, it would.
So it's just time and patience.
Yep. And I mean, I can still knit. I'm just frustrated because I'm used to a specific amount of exercise and I can't get back to that just yet. And even yesterday I did something again that aggravated something more. And the hard part is I don't even know what I did.
Probably something you shouldn't have been.
Probably. But anyway, I'll take it easy and get lots of knitting done. I've got lots of yarn to knit. So, so anyway, I didn't at that point go out to any more knitting stores, but I had a lovely visit from one of our viewers, Lois, who lives in Gore, which is about 2 hours from where we were staying in Christchurch. Not Christchurch, Queenstown. By this time, after Lake Tekapo, they picked me up at the hospital and we moved on to Queenstown. So she came up to spend the morning with me one morning and brought me some absolutely lovely gifts. So I'll just put that and show you. So this first is, she had asked me, she said she was going to, what is it called here? Alpaca Yarnings, and owned by, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right or not, Anike and Jacob Van Nuren. So they are on a farm in Gore, and they've got alpacas. So she asked me if there's any, like, did I like any of the fleece? Was there anything? And I thought, oh, well, I really like that fawn color. So this is just
beautiful. That. Oh my gosh. So you could have wrapped this around your body.
I know.
This is so soft.
So absolutely gorgeous. So she brought me I've got 200 grams of this to spin up. Now I've never spun 100% alpaca before, so we'll see. But it's actually prepared really nicely. Like it should, I think it should draft really nicely. But it's unbelievable. It just feels like a cloud.
It does.
It's just.
Not like butter.
No, like a cloud.
Like a cloud. It's so
and I will also link this site down here because they do have a website.
And this is undyed, correct?
It's undyed.
So this is the actual color of the alpaca. Yeah. So pretty.
So this is called snowberry. So I don't know if snowberry is the name of the color of the yarn or if it's the name of the alpaca.
I'll bet it's the name of the alpaca.
So anyway, so I've got, and look, that's 100 grams. Like, but
it looks so big when it's unspun.
This is what we, this is what we had to do to it too. Oh, see, it is. So that's snowberry, and then this says mixed fawns.
Okay.
So it's the name of whatever the alpacas are that produce it, I guess. Yeah. So we had packed it up like this to get in the suitcase. And then she also brought me this gorgeous, gorgeous skein of 100% hand-dyed alpaca 4-ply.
So beautiful. So beautiful.
I don't know what that's. I was thinking either a ranunculus or a shawl. But I don't know. It just feels absolutely amazing.
It does. So soft.
So anyways, I had a lovely visit with Lois. She was actually knitting. It was funny because she was knitting with the brush-tailed possum, the exact color that I had bought from Lupine, and she was making fingerless gloves for her brother. So, and just getting the tension just right in order to do it. And yeah, so we had a lovely visit, and that was, that was one of my first mornings where I wasn't able to do anything. So it was kind of nice to have the company and have the visit. And if I get back there again, I'll have to go visit Lois again.
Yes.
So
I must
anyway.
say, after your injury, the FaceTiming sessions that I got were slightly more increased than before the fall.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was such a time difference, though, right?
Yes.
And
Yep.
and you were in the future because you were in the next day.
Yes. But luckily, like the places that we stayed at, the place in Queenstown and the place that we went to after, that was near Milford Sound, I'm forgetting names again. T&O is where it was. Absolutely gorgeous scenery. So it's not like it was a hardship to
sit and knit.
Stay and knit. And
Yes.
actually it was like nice and peaceful because everybody went out and...
Yeah, and you were in like Airbnb, so
Yes.
you had full homes.
Oh yeah, I had
She wasn't
full
just
homes.
in a hotel room.
No. And we had espresso or Nescafe coffee makers, so it was not a hardship at all.
No.
And it was actually the fact that we didn't fly home until 10 days later. Well, ended up being 11. Was actually good because it gave me time to at least heal a little bit because
Yes.
I don't think there's any way in the first couple of days after that I could have made that journey home with all those flights.
No,
So,
no,
yeah.
no, not at all. So
Yep. So I have to go back again because I need to see more of the South Island because I really didn't get to see a lot of it. So
Yes.
I'll have to go back again and do that.
you didn't get to
And-
bungee jump.
I didn't get to bungee jump. I would have.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
I would have.
you did get winched up into a helicopter, so I guess we can say that that's similar to bungee jumping. But
My son bungee jumped.
your son did, yes.
He did, and he was. Suzanne said he was just like they were out for that day. Like they all went out, and he did the bungee jump, and she said he was just on a high for the rest of the day.
Somebody would have to push me. I'm not saying that I wouldn't do it, but I don't think I'd be able to take the step to throw myself down. Somebody would have to
He actually
me a
said
shove.
that was the hardest part because you're on the edge and you're holding on to something. And he said the hardest part was to
Letting
let go
go.
of that thing that you're hanging on to. And he did this swan dive out because apparently they ask you, do you want your face to go in the water? So then they adjust the length of whatever your bungee cords are. So anyway, he thoroughly enjoyed it and I didn't even go watch. So I saw the video after, which was good enough because I don't know, even if I was there, I don't know if I could have watched.
Oh, I bet you could have watched.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know why what's our need to thrill seek, because other people have done it. We say, oh, it must be safe. Let's do it. And I mean, I've done some crazy things too. I've done crazy things that in hindsight, I shouldn't have done.
I know.
We all have. But, and then, you're doing the safe thing, like out for a nice stroll.
Exactly. On an easy walk.
On an easy walk.
That
yeah.
turned into an adventure.
Yes, it did. Quite an adventure.
Quite an adventure. Yes, because
Yeah.
when I actually, and it was funny because when I went to the hospital, all I had with me was my little knitting bag that Kelly made with my sock that I was knitting on, my phone, Ross stuck in, a credit card, and what was the other thing?
Did he pack you a snack? You didn't
No.
granola bar?
Oh, the credit card and our out-of-town health insurance.
Yes.
That was all that I had in the bag. And the bag, Ross actually used that bag, waving it like this to show the helicopter where to land. So knitting bags are important.
Knitting bags are very important. Yes, they are. Yes.
So.
Yeah, I know because she FaceTimed me the next day from the hospital and because it happened to be my birthday as well.
Yeah.
Well,
it wasn't yet.
It was a day early here, but it was
Yeah.
actually my birthday while she was away because they're a day ahead. And as she's saying happy birthday, at that very moment, I realized like she's in a hospital bed, and I'm like, and she goes, she says, I'm in the hospital, and I say, you're in the hospital at the exact same time, and then the whole story comes out, and yeah, it was just quite a story.
It was.
I'm glad you're back home. I'm glad you're safe. It's it's not a call you want to get.
No. But again, wonderful care in New Zealand. What we didn't know beforehand is actually if you have an accident there, everything is covered.
Which is amazing.
I mean, obviously at the time you're not going to say, well, I don't know if we can afford this. So it was just going to be what it was going to be. But
isn't there a cheaper helicopter? That one looks pretty fancy.
It was pretty fancy. And shout out to Juliet, who is the paramedic that I had to be winched up, so you would have seen it in the video, but they put you in this thing called a nappy. and then I'm hooked onto her belt, and then you get winched up to the helicopter.
And I noticed in the video too, like when you're being winched up and she's patting you on the back, because she's sort of like you're hugged into
Yep.
her, right?
Yep.
And she's patting you on the back, and I could just picture she's saying, "You're doing fine. You're
Yep.
doing fine."
Yes. And then she kept talking to me the whole time in the helicopter ride. And I'm like, stop, I just want to go to sleep. But apparently they don't want you to go to sleep. I know.
Yes. Yes.
So, anyway, it was an adventure. Not the type of adventure that I want to repeat again.
No, not at all.
But all in all, the trip was amazing. If you have a chance to go to New Zealand, definitely go. Like, it's just gorgeous, gorgeous country. So, and the people are super nice and friendly, and we really had a good time. Other than the driving on the other side of the road, although that was better when you were kind of out of Auckland. Auckland, it was pretty scary.
Did it feel strange when you came back for the first few?
Well, I never.
Well,
drove.
you weren't driving
drove,
anywhere.
but for the first little while when we came back, when I go to get in the car, even with Russ driving, I was going to get into the wrong side.
Wrong side.
So
yeah.
Anyway, okay, so that brings us to the end. Other than our last little giveaway.
Yes.
So while I was at the skeins store, they actually had produced a couple of skeins balls of yarn specifically with the proceeds from them going to cyclone relief. So for people that were affected by the cyclone, they had a couple of colorways made up. So I picked up a couple of them. So
these are fun colors too.
Yeah,
really fun colors.
yeah. So this is, they call it double knit, but again, I think it's more like a worsted.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
it
200
does feel
meters.
very thick.
Yeah, it's 200 meters, 100 grams, and we've got these two different colors. This one is called Wakatu,
and this one is Teawanga.
So I think it's a couple of places in New Zealand. But anyways, so we are going to
do a couple of giveaways.
Yeah, we're going to do a couple of giveaways, and we'll send each of the winners a skein of this yarn. So what do we want them to do?
Comment
Just
below.
comment. You know, comment on whatever you want to comment on. Just make a comment. We'll leave this up for, a couple of weeks maybe?
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll draw 2 winners and we'll ship this yarn out to you. So this is from the skein store. So this yarn is made in New Zealand. It's 100% New Zealand wool. And you could either incorporate it into a sweater using it for a yoke, or it would make wonderful hat, mitts, cowl.
You could do heavier weight socks.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
It's very nice. Very nice.
So they had a couple of other colors too, but they were sold out of them. Otherwise, I would have probably picked them up too.
Very pretty.
Yeah,
Okay.
so...
Well, it sounds like a great adventure.
It was a great adventure. It
was definitely a yarny adventure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She had it all laid out on her dining room last weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and I came
didn't
over.
want to put it away. I just wanted to go and touch
keep
it.
looking at it, and I came over, and then she told me like to choose the items that she had brought back for me. And I left here with a fair haul, and I didn't make a dent in that table.
Well, we don't even have yours here to show.
No,
so
you don't even have mine. I
No.
remember to bring this back and not the other, but yeah. It's absolutely beautiful. But so I'm glad you had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Relatively
like
speaking.
I said, I would definitely go back. So, and we do have a good friend who is actually from Auckland. So, and he had actually talked before about us going with them. So, there could be another trip in the future.
Absolutely.
So,
all right. So I think that's it.
That's it. So
thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for
joining
us.
The journey through New Zealand.
Yep.
And,
so
I think
I'm not going to apologize for my
yarn piggery.
I was supporting their local economy.
Absolutely. And you know what? I mean, some people buy t-shirts when they're away. Some people buy salt and pepper shakers, they buy spoons. You buy yarn.
That's right.
And this is the gift that keeps on giving, because your souvenirs, you're going to have a lot of souvenirs.
Yep.
You've bought souvenirs for your family. I'm getting souvenirs. I mean, you did your bit.
Yep.
You did your bit.
Yeah, because some of this
Good
stuff,
job.
because some of the things that I'm making with it are not for me.
No, absolutely. So lots of people benefit from her trip to New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, okay. So
until next time. Our next trip coming up, well, the next Yarny trip coming up is Montreal. Mm-hmm. And that's in the long weekend in May. Mm-hmm. So
I could say I'm not going to buy any yarn till then, but that would probably be a lie, so I won't. In fact, I think I have some to show the next live.
Absolutely. If you're not familiar, if you have just found yourself here for the first time, we should say this before we sign off too. This is, we've been doing some of these little episodes when we have something a little special or extraordinary in our life. And other than that, we do a weekly live. Same place. You'll find us here on the Knits and Pieces YouTube channel. Yep. And that's each Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is our time zone. So you would have to adjust accordingly depending on where you are. But we, the premise behind that is there's nothing scripted. There's nothing planned. No. It's just very informal. We like to call it the Knit Chat Cafe. It's where we gather with all of our knitting friends in the community, and you have an opportunity to chat with us because it is live, and you can use your keyboards to interact with us and the other people in the group.
That's
we
right.
have a very, very friendly group of people.
And everybody's always willing to help. If there's a question, usually someone in the group knows the answer to it and is more than happy to help out.
And it has been nothing short of sheer joy to get to know the people in our community. And we have met some of you online. We have met some of you in person.
That's right.
And it's been a very special friendship that we've formed. So we encourage you to join us on Tuesday nights too.
And most likely that's where it will be on one of the lives that we announce the winners for, I would say, what do we want to say, maybe the end of April?
Yes, because today is April the 7th. So the closest weekly episode to April 30th is where we will announce the winners to these.
Okay. Yep. So take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon.
Happy knitting.